just a great crowd. Great to be here. Stace Galbraith in the booth with Jesse Starling. Jesse, look at this heat. R.Callinan, Nolan Rapoza, Bronson Maydi and Frederico Morais taking the water. This is Frederico Morais.
Yeah, getting his heat underway with a 5.33. We always say it's good to start with a mid-range score, especially in conditions like this. Wow, really hit that second section. Put a lot into it.
That was a big turn there for Fred. We'll elaborate on that a bit more later. But Ryan's wave here, Jesse.
Oh, I love the way he surfs. Beautiful first turn for R.Cal. He is so smooth and so powerful. Oh, we had a bit of a 2-for-1 here for R.Cal.
Love the belly board. You got to make sure of it. He's a dad now. You're allowed to do that.
Belted it twice on the inside beach in our break, and I was so surprised how much further out it is now on that change of the tide.
It is a long way out. There's ships out there. Got to be careful. Nolan Rapoza there. Probably not the start he's looking for. It's just a small score to start. Has Ryan won? No, he got second. Back to that in a minute. This is Nolan's wave, Jess.
Yeah, loved this first turn. He just pushes so hard off his back foot. He is a really solid surfer. I feel like he would really look to Ryan as well for inspiration. I mean, I feel like a lot of goofy footers around the world would, but just their styles.
I'm excited to see him catch a few more waves in this heat. Bronson Maydi now. We saw what he did at the World Junior Titles in the Philippines. We were lucky enough to see that live, Jesse. It was a sensational week for the young man, and bringing a world title back home to Indonesia is no small feat as he gets a little combo done on the inside. There is a couple of rocks there, so you will see him eject pretty quickly out of that.
That back arm really bent in. And then Bronson, it was a smaller wave, but he got a lot of damage done. He did a lot of turns from start to finish. There was a bit of downtime through here. Just look at so much water just to try and navigate and make his way through. Got to turn in, quick 1 for 2. So 1, 2, landed it for him to be able to find what he needs to get through these big heats.
This wave's steep. R.Callinan up into the lip beautifully, and he might get another one here as well. Thanks for coming, R.Callinan. I know he's been working through a few niggles. He's pretty much had something wrong with him his whole career, but it doesn't look like it today. His knees look sturdy, his ankles look good, and he's on fire. That was an amazing combination of turns there. I mean, if I'm Bronson Maydi on the Stone and Wood slow-mo replay here, Jess, I'm sitting here.
Look at that first turn. The bowl coming back towards him when it was bending back at him ever so slightly. That is actually what dreams are made of. Got up and over that foam. I was a little concerned there. There was a lot of bump, and his board was moving around a lot under between his feet, but he made it and came around. It tapered off, but it didn't matter because 2 beautiful turns out the back. Not even out the back, kind of midway out. And I think that... And you could tell he was nursing it. You could really tell by watching him compete, but I agree, beautiful surfing from Frederico. Massive confidence builder too.
And here comes the nightmare in red for our other surfers. The surfer who's in the lead is now sitting with the rest of the pack, which is just takes one less wave away from these guys. Frederico Morais, massive turn there in the lip, as he would be trying to suck down as much local knowledge as he can out of R.Callinan and all the years they've stayed and worked together with Richard Dog Marsh here at this break. And not a bad backup score there for Freddie to the peak where these guys are sitting, Jesse.
Loved this first turn. Really steep section, just clicked with it beautifully. Came down with the lip. I feel like we just spoke about his confidence. Considering the risk on this last turn, the section he did it in, the water coming back towards him, you'd have to think he's feeling pretty good about his ankle to push that hard in a wave where you would have had to push harder than the wave is pushing back at you. And a replay of Nolan out the back behind him. Big section here. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Clicks it beautifully there.
Oh.
And then again, wow, I was speechless there for a second. I just wanted to watch him surf.
How good did his board look in the transitions there? And, you know, to the point there, we'll get to that in a minute, as we see Bronson. The condition changing right now is perfect for this man.
Wow.
Curvier, shorter waves, rather than these big outside monsters. This is going to suit Bronson great, and you've already seen it with these first 2 turns on this wave. Because I can't say we've seen many waves like Ryan's and Bronson's and Freddie's throughout the day. It has moved onto the inside section at the rocks, and that's definitely going to play into Bronson's favour. But getting back to it, the judges don't care. You're going to get a big score. It doesn't matter where it is today. It's just finding steepness.
Love that first turn. Really tight hook in the pocket. Brought it back around for a carb, and then it was just a little bit bumpy through this inside section. You can tell by the wave that wave kind of broke in 2. It was never going to have that big click moment he was chasing.
Kind of gnarly to think about. Got to wait his turn. But he's managed to sneak away. Very, very clever for Freddie. I tell you what, that wave didn't let him do anything, but the characteristics of that wave would...
They're all halfway out, so game plans might be changing for the rest of the afternoon.
Important wave here for Nolan Rapoza, who's just locked in a great score, and the best time to lock in a score is when you've just locked in a great one. As he looks really good on his board here, he's going to need to finish, and he does! Massive turn there for Nolan Rapoza.
I completely wrote him off on that last turn. I thought he was gone.
I would have as well if I didn't see him at Snapper that year. Because he was doing similar kind of crazy stuff where he was just going belting. There's no way he's landing that. And he'd just land so solid.
And Arc-out, ooh, up and over, out the back.
That was one for the kids. And it was scored accordingly. R.Callinan now back into second. He won't like that. He was having fun. He wants to keep having fun as he winds up and winds out of that one. He's now in second place. F.Morais is now chasing an 8.04.
To think about Bronson and how quickly he can change a heat by doing something what looks like he's going to be doing now. And that's why I would be nervous for that exact reason.
I agree. A massive air to start that wave there for Bronson. And he's stoked, and he kicks out of that one. An 8.87 is the requirement, and I'm with you, Jess. I think this morning those numbers would just be like, okay, wave the white flag, this could be over.
I mean, let's take a look at this Stonerwood slow-mo and just really break this down. He put on the brakes so that he could come up there, use the win in a perfect section, full backside air reverse, comes back around, steep pocket here, really nice turn. This is all his all-lose practice just really coming into play here. Tags it not once, but twice, actually 3 times with the finish there for Bronson. That's why he's one of those surfers.
And I think in turn we're going to see much higher scores as Frederico Merewether looks to work this one through. We'll have to catch up on what he got done on the outside. If he didn't get anything, he's going to need to go mega on the inside here. Nice check turn, a bit late to the last section there.
You know, Ryan's probably backing his ability more than priority at this point, but here we go, just sold him.
Bronson's done his first job here. Nolan now needs to better a score, and unfortunately doesn't on that wave, but I mean, kind of had to hold him off. He needs a 4.83. Bronson could have done a huge air there and it would have been lights out. You know, the next modest looking wave that comes through, it's up to Bronson to kind of make sure he makes the right decision with his wave selection as we see him up and riding now on the tail to start. A little snap to get things going there. He will need more. And it looks like this wave will reform on the inside for him, which is very true to the characteristics of the rocks. This wave never really ends as long as you can keep your feet. But Bronson opts to kick out of that wave there, and I think it's probably the right call. He needs to get back out the back and get to the lip a little earlier if possible.
Yeah, there were 2 really nice turns. I mean, he didn't have a lot of time to work with on that first section. There was a lot of oncoming water. So he did manage that section really well. Again, a lot of water rushing up the face. I thought he was going to lose it there. You kind of lose the turn with the amount of water that was at the top of that one. And he kicks out. He's going to get back out, really just pull the rabbit out of the hat and get himself a massive score like we saw. But Freddie looking for an excellent score there, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's a bummer for Freddie, and he'll know that as we see outside now. Nolan Rapoza currently in first. B.Meydi will go the left. As Nolan carves away at this wave, bit of foam on the face there. He's looking at, he knows how precarious this is for him. He's looking to see the other surfers if they've ridden or not. A lot of action here in the GWM. Oh, excuse me, this is just a replay of the last wave. Bronson in and out there, Jess. Our official results. Absolutely, we'll be watching that in the highlight reels for many, many heats and years to come. I think that was one of the better airs we've seen today, and for the last sort of opening day as well. But there it is, Nolan Rapoza and R.Callinan moving through.